It is 1:20 p.m. on Saturday, December 26th. I sound like I'm a radio DJ. I'm just on a jog. I just had a bad morning. I'm supposed to go to bed at around 10 as usual. And then, I don't know. Charlotte, my friend from Vietnam, kept messaging me, video messaging. She's like, it's time to chat, because for her it's 10 a.m. And then I was like, no, it's going to be a few more minutes. So it's like, finally, it's like 10:30. I'm like, or 11. I'm like, okay, I finally stopped just watching YouTube videos. But then she's like, I need to do a Christmas quiz with you. And she was reading questions like, what color is the Grinch? I'm like, green, whatever. I got most of the questions. And then it was like 11:30. So finally, actually, I don't know what happened, actually. It was like 2 in the morning or 1:30 before I sort of put down the phone. And then I woke up at 5 and I'm like, got sweat all over my brow. I'm like, what's going on? I went up and looked at the thermostat and it was locked at 21 degrees and it's supposed to be 18 degrees. So I'm like, but my dad doesn't like me touching the thermostat, as we know. So I just, I dragged the couch cushions into the garage and I set up my CPAP machine in the garage with an extension cord, and I slept on the floor of the garage. And then, I don't know what time it was, but I heard my dad yelling, Josh, because I guess he was going to tell me that he'd put the thermostat back or whatever. But it had taken me a couple hours to fall asleep, so now, boom, now I'm awake again. And I'm like, I still have to try to fall asleep. And I couldn't yell to him because I had the CPAP machine on, he wouldn't hear me. So then, here, this is my tour of the market. See, this is the place where Barack Obama came and bought cookies, and he is still promoting. This is 2009, so this is 11 years ago now. But he's still promoting it. And look, there's I guess, are those all like, agents? So this is a very casual purchase with like lots of people with guns standing around. That's a fancy watch. I used to like watches in high school. I had watch brochures on my school locker wall. And I guess he's paying with American dollars. So now we've got all these pictures. There he is getting the cookies. There he is here. Everybody's posing with them. Wonder if all these people are still excited about those photos. Wonder if these are still his pictures. If they're still showing those on their Facebook. So what do we got? We're open today. That's exciting. So I finally got up. My sister was messaging me. She's like, I'm here. But I still didn't get upstairs for an hour, and then my dad took her home just as I was coming upstairs, so I didn't see her. And I thought, well, I'm still going to go for a jog. The phone said it was minus 8 degrees, and I thought it's a bit cold. But got to do it, because I can't, it's one little thing I can control, right? Like if I let everything just fall apart and say, look, you've got no family, no purpose, nothing, there's no point. You could easily, not get out of bed and then just be completely out of shape. I want to still move. I've always loved exercising. I always envisioned, hey, this is fun socks. They're not sorry. And then, there's what's a Sulu? Oh my. That's my impression of whatever his name is. Like I always envisioned that, like I had when I was 12, like I built a little, I guess 14, 13, I don't know. Built a little gym in the furnace room of the house, and with a weight bench, and then in my high school house I put in like a bar on the ceiling so I could do chin-ups and stuff, and I wouldn't go out unless I'd worked out. And it's like, when did that change? I was still going to the gym in my condo a couple of years ago, so I guess I could get it all back. I follow Dean Graziosi online, and he's got this massive mansion, this massive gym in his basement. It's inspiring. He's my age. He's got a new kid that's 9 months old. I remember when the wife was pregnant. I guess I've been following him for that long. And then now there's the kid. So it makes me realize, I always thought the kids thing, I don't know, it would just take a long time. But I look back now, like if I had just had a kid with like a girl a year ago, I'd have a 3-month-old to have for Christmas and stuff. So it could happen fast. It's just too bad. Like you look back on life and you realize, those were the girls I should have married. Those were the ones that lit me up, and every morning seeing them would be like magic. And then if you say, no, I'm just having too much fun looking around, I'm going to break up with you, there's going to be somebody else, then there isn't somebody else. Or if you wind up, just having to choose because, you're single, I'm single, it's like musical chairs, you're the last one left. It's kind of, it feels sad, right? What was my point? Could have had a kid. Oh yeah, Dean. So he's got a big gym, and he works every morning. And I do. That's one of my dreams again, to whatever I wind up doing. Like if I have a house or a condo, I want to just run on the treadmill. And of course, it'd be easier if you had a family. If the family was like, oh, daddy's going to the gym for a bit or whatever. But it's tough, because then you go, okay, well, by the time my child is able to speak, if I even have one, I'm going to be like 60 years old. That's kind of scary. But I guess when you think about it, all parents are older than their kids, right? Like, unless you have a kid when you're 15, I mean, it's still older, but, most people maybe 25, 30 or something, and you're still going to be 30 years older than your kids. So it's not the end of the world. Anyways, it's funny. I kept thinking, no, they're going to cure death. I'm going to be so rich, I'm going to buy medication that age won't apply to me. That was always my backup plan, and that's not the most realistic plan. Why make things complicated? If you meet somebody you like, stick with them. If you're thinking, hey, I don't like my job, I'm going to try something else. Like, don't overcomplicate it and make you, sabotage your own life and go, I'm going to leave my job. I'm going to leave my girlfriend. I'm going to keep starting from scratch 50 years later. Whew. This is supposed to be like a positive little fun video. Anyways, somebody in Facebook, because on Christmas Eve, I posted a video of me walking around at night here. And somebody said, thanks for taking me on a walk. So I liked the idea of that. I'm like taking somebody for a walk. And then I wished I'd put on my headphones so that you could hear me, even when I'm posting it this way, turning it this way, right? So this allows me to give you the tour and still talk to you. So this is my new upgrade to the walk. Anyways, so yeah, I was in the mall just now. See if it was open. It looks like the Apple store is open and people are doing whatever their Apple stuff is. I'm going to make some money soon, I hope, and then I'm going to buy a new iPhone 12 and get an iPhone watch so it can tell me how long I've slept. I don't know, like I need that. I don't know. Maybe my body will tell me if I slept enough because I won't be tired. I don't know how that works. So yeah, I don't really have anything to report today. This is Boxing Day. So the idea here was, before I showed you what Christmas looked like, Christmas Eve in the market, and people were in the restaurants. It looks like people are still in the restaurants, I guess. Let's go check, because you can see the sign outside. Now in Ontario, I know they're locking everything down. It might be, maybe today's the last day that you can still go inside a store. But let's see, maybe this is just for takeout? Let's see. Is somebody sitting there? Doesn't really look packed. Looks like all the seats are up. Yeah, I think people are just getting takeout. Although, yeah. So that's fine. So it looks like for 28 days it's going to be shut down. I was telling this girl in Florida, 28 days. She's like, that's such a random number. I'm like, no. She's like, oh well, Nate, I guess that's about 4 weeks. And again, it's 4 weeks. That's why it's 28 days. A month. Well, not a month. I guess months are... That's the weird thing about months. Months are all different lengths. Makes it complicated. I've never been able to do the 30 days, half September thing. There's that little mnemonic that's supposed to remind you how many days months are, and I can never remember. So here, check us out on Uber Eats. So let's see. Oh yeah, so this is all... It's all curbside. So you can pick up curbside, or you can do Uber Eats. So there's nothing happening. So for 1 month here, do you think I could turn my life around in 1 month? If I say, you know what? Yeah, I want to regret being alone and not being a professor and all my regrets. But if I say for 1 month, I'm just going to think positive. Just go to a month. I can go back to being depressed in 28 days. What could I accomplish? It's like, it seems stupid, because if I do accomplish something, it'll be like, why didn't I do that 30 years ago? Like, imagine how much I could have done with 30 years. But, I mean, it's not like I've done nothing. I've done things. I had a copywriting job. I was in Tokyo helping a couple of times. I went viral with my love song for the Green Party leader. Stuff like that. I guess when you look back, though, you're like, oh, like you could always get another job, or sure, you could make $1 million or not. Like, all those things are artificial. The one thing you can't go back and do is raise kids. Like, I mean, you can't buy back that time. I can't suddenly say, okay, you know what? I'm going to speed things up. I'm going to have a 20-year-old kid right now. You can't do it. I mean, you could have one now, I guess, if you're young enough to have one. But that's the one sad thing. But I have joined enough Facebook depression groups to see that a lot of people are feeling sad, even people with husbands and wives, like, they're like, oh, my wife doesn't, or my wife took my son, or some wife saying my husband doesn't, he just always criticizes me, or, people have problems. Although the problem is, like, I did date amazing women that I know would have loved me unconditionally and did. I mean, okay, everything has conditions, but I mean, I was with good people, and that's what's frustrating, to know that I was with good people and I ended it. Maybe there's another good person out there, and that's why I do these videos. People say, why do you post so much about your life? Even my stand-up it's the cannabis thing. These are not my people. I don't do cannabis. People talk about, why do you post so much? My stand-up comedy teacher was like, it's dangerous. Why do you share everything? I'm like, I don't know. I feel lonely, and I'm just sharing it. Now, I know that's not the best. Like, here's the thing. Like, if there was somebody that, or my tribe out there, I would want them to see my positive self. Like, the people that I've met online in my life saw the creative side of me. Like, the first gen saw, she was looking at a dating site, Lava Life, to do research for a film she was writing about online dating, and then she saw my profile, and I was saying, oh, I'm making a movie about a talking towel, and she thought that was cute, so she signed up to write to me. That was a positive thing. If my ad had been like, oh, I'm depressed, I don't think she would have written. And then the third gen saw me. I did 3 gens in a row. The third one read an article about me in the paper about eco dating, and she's like, oh, he's just into dating. And then a year later, she saw another one that was like just me picking up garbage. She's like, okay, this is my kind of guy. And a couple of her friends wrote to her and said, did you see this guy? He's so you. And then she wrote me a fan letter. And then, how am I going to reproduce that? How am I going to get in the newspaper a couple of times and have some person? And then you also realize, you always think, oh, there's more people. But that was just the right window of time when she was young enough to still be looking for somebody to start a family with and build a life with. And so was I. It was just a little window, and I just lucked out because, she hadn't found the right person yet. But if you wait too long, those people are gone. Or they've got different goals. Now, they can't have kids, or they've already had their family, and now they're just looking for somebody to hang out with. Like, it's a very different thing. And so now I've put myself into the situation where it's like, oh, what does this phone say? Is it saying low battery? Yes, it is, even though it was fully charged. My dad keeps saying, get a new battery, get a new phone. I'm like, yes, that's easy to say. All right, so I guess I'll sign off now, because I've been ranting enough, being negative enough. Thank you for letting me vent. I know probably nobody's listening, but or if you are, maybe this makes you feel better. I don't know. I don't think I would want to be listening to somebody ramble on. The podcast today, Kathy is coaching this woman who wants to help working moms feel better, and then they discovered, hey, you like crafting. That's what your Instagram was about before, and so she's going to just start crafting. And I thought, maybe that's what I should be doing. I like drawing. I've always loved that. Why don't I just draw little doodles and get people together in a Facebook group and say, here, we're all going to draw a little doodle together. Or here's a little doodle that I'll draw that you can print out and cut out and put it in your house as a decoration. Hey, that'd be a fun thing. So yeah, I'll go home and I'll do that. See? And I'll just this will be the month of focus on positive things. Do a little art every day. Reach out to the world. Hopefully find my tribe. Maybe you're it. And let's do this together. And maybe this could be your month as well. So every day, we're just going to give it a month to not be negative, to just think about what we can do right now. Okay? Are you with me? If you're with me, like the video, comment that you're with me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's do this. And maybe I can take you for a walk every day. If you want me to take you for a walk every day, let me know that as well. Bye. Oh, is that Barack? Yeah, there's Barack. Bye, Barack.